Element 2.2, value customers and colleagues from different cultural groups and treat them with respect and sensitivity. Hospitality and tourism industries are leading examples of multicultural industries. Being labor intensive, they employ people from all over the world with various cultures. Employees and staff interact, work and serve customers or guests from different nations and cultural backgrounds. Then therefore it is vital that all these people, whether staff or customers, are treated with respect and sensitivity. Respect comes from the Latin word respectos, which means attention, regard, admiration, esteem, appreciation, or favor. Respect is holding a person in high regard for who they are, not what they are. Meaning, we respect them as person. We don't respect them because of their position, or we don't respect them because of their looks, or because how they dress. Respect is just showing courtesy to the person. Like for Filipinos, it is our po and opo. Natural for us to just say po and opo, or whenever we meet a stranger, we address them ma'am and sir, but not in all cultures. Respect is a two-way street. Oftentimes we forget that. To be respected, you must first give respect. But because we are in hospitality industry, we need to give respect first, and we need to be respectful to others. Sensitivity, on the other hand, is the awareness of the needs and emotions of others. This is a bit harder than respect because it involves a lot of things. We need to be aware of the needs, either it be special, individual, that need to be addressed based on cultural diversity. Thus, this involves identifying what their cultural or social background, determining what special consideration should be given them, taking action to ensure that their specific cultural needs are met in line with your work-related obligations. Just like, for example, the Muslims, their preferred food is halal or permissible. And for the Jews, their kosher food. Sensitivity goes beyond just not just with the physical, but it goes beyond that. Respect and sensitivity should be applied both to our internal and external customers. Internal customers and external customers being this, our guests, our visitors, clients, or customers. Those are our external customers. Our internal customers, however, are our colleagues, the staff, where we work, superiors, and our subordinates. Just like what you can see in the picture, seeing former US President Barack Obama making fist bump with a janitor. And with the quotation, I was raised to treat the janitor with the same respect as the CEO. We respect people who they are, not what they are. The diversity of our customers and colleagues, when we look at it, is based on these things. The way they live, either they be from third world country or underdeveloped or fully developed country or first world country, so to speak. Values and principles, the educational background, sporting interests. Now, hindi naman kumu ang number one sport dito sa atin ay basketball, billiard, at saka boxing. Sa ibang bansa, hindi ganon. Sa ibang bansa siguro, football. Sa Amerikano, pagka sinabi mong football, American football. Pero ang nasa isipan natin pag sinabi natin football is soccer. Or ang iba naman ay naglalaro ng cricket or baseball. Basically, sa Amerika, tatlo yan. Baseball, football, and basketball. Pero marami pa sila ibang mga events or may golf pa, no? Sa atin siguro mga Pinoy, golf, food and beverages tastes. Okay. Lifestyle and background. Nakakatuwa na mapabilang tayo sa mga masayahing tao sa buong mundo. Okay? Lifestyle and background, how are they? Okay? Their place of birth. Always proud ang isang tao sa kanyang pinanggalingan, sa kanyang place of birth. And we will be discussing that later. Okay? Styles of communication. Do they respond verbally or through their body languages? Magkaminsan may mga kausap tayo na kinakausap na natin, sinasabihan natin, ang reply lang sa iyo kung di pagtataas lang ng kilay, konting tango lang o di kaya konting iling. But then again, we need to know that their style of communication, religious beliefs, or preferred language. Do they speak American English, British English, or Chinese, or any language that they do? So, dahil ang international language na gamit natin is English, then we prefer to be using that. Okay. These people, either be customers or colleagues, comes from different areas. So, ASEAN countries, kung dito lang tayo sa malapit, other Asian countries, in European communities, Middle East countries, subcontinent countries, the North and South American countries, or the African countries and Oceania countries. So, tama si Walt Disney, nung sabihin niya, it's a small world after all. And because of globalization, we can see, monitor, and be aware on real time. Ano mang nangyayari sa kanila? And so, being in the hospitality management, again, we need to see this diversity of our customers and colleagues. Learning about cultural differences, we really need to put an effort into that. Kailangang malaman natin, ano nga ba meron doon? Ano nga ba ang kakaibahan ng kultura nila sa atin? That's why we provided in our purposive communication, we need to learn about body languages. We need to learn about what are acceptable and what are not acceptable. Or at times, you can attend cultural awareness program provided by the industry. Or better yet, learn the basic greetings and phrases or the body language of that country. The general expectations of people from that country in terms of service, formality, food, and beverages, or the visitor expectations. For example, if you're going to Visayas and to Mindanao, ang expectations talaga namin ng galing ng mga taga Luzon is that gusto lang subukan yung aming tuba pagdating sa mga beverages, or gustong subukan yung mga lambanog, something like that. Food and beverages, gustong subukan yung sutukil, sugba, tuwa, kilaw. Pagka dito lang tayo sa Pilipinas. So, we need to be aware of that. Diversity ang tawag natin doon. The history of the country. Kaya nga yung place of birth kanina na nabanggit, because we are proud of our lineage, we are proud of our history. Basic geographical awareness. Halimbawa, sasabihin niya, oh, we came from North America. And others will be saying this. At baka naman magtanong ka, what state? Huwag naman. Okay. Or the contributions made by that particular country to the world. Ano nga bang na-contribute nito? Ano nga bang naibigay nito sa buong mundo? Not only that, what are the religious issues and observations? And be sensitive enough in dealing with them. The values and the value systems in that particular country where they came from, customs and taboos. Ibig sabihin, ano ba yung pinapayagan? Ano ba yung hindi? Ano ba yung tanggap? Ano ba yung hindi tanggap ng mga kultura nila? Beliefs. And then, the role and importance of family. Matutuwa ka dito na bago na talaga yung pananaw, hindi lang dito sa Pilipinas, kundi sa ibang mga bansa, yung family definition pa lang is different, and we'll be dealing with that later. Your possible sources of information in multiculturalism or in cultural diversity, pwede mong hanapin ito. You could ask the customers, or you can talk with the staff or your colleagues. You can talk with your friends in network of contacts. For example, ang kaibigan mo, may kaibigan na ganito, you need to be asking them how to deal with those people. Or working industry stakeholders, yung supplier, yung government body, yung mga nagdadala sa inyo ng mga bagay-bagay nito, you can start talking to them also so that you can get information about that particular culture. Or better yet, pwede ka maghanap ng books, social media, ang dami na yata sa TikTok o madami na yata sa YouTube. Okay? So, in considering cultural differences, sama na natin doon yung verbal and non-verbal communication. So, part of that will be body language. In your purposive communication, we have learned body languages. Because we will be reading, there are some that could not verbalize, but you can easily see the body reaction. Verbal language is, again, pronunciation. Magkaiba pa. At even yung mga English speakers, even sa Amerika, magugulat ka, magkaiba yung tono pagsasalita ng mga taga-East doon sa West. Meron silang accent. At yung iba ay hindi kagaya ng pag-pronounce ng ilan sa atin. So, we need to adjust also that. Sa verbal languages natin, we should know what is appropriate to the person and culture. Or, just like this one, some will be offering handshake, pero ang ibibigay sa'yo, bow lang. Some will be just nodding, and some will give you a hug. And nakakatuwa, when I was there, I always offer my hand, but they will say, Ronnie, we do that. You do that in the Philippines, but we do like this. And they will just be hugging you. So you can easily see from this, from the illustration, that is just being presented, Yung iba naman masyadong malapit pagka nakipag-usap, so magiging uncomfortable ka nga ng kaunti. Oh, she's a bit so close, and hindi ko malaman kung anong gagawin. But para huwag maka-offend, we need to be aware of their culture. Cultural differences also include our race or the country where they came from. So, if you would like to address those, politely ask them, where are you guys from? And they will be excited to be sharing with you. Now, huwag mo naman ipagmayabang ka agad-agad na Pilipino ka at i-control mo na yung usapan. But then again, nagpapakita lang that you are interested about them, kung saan sila nanggaling. So, that's one way of dealing with the cultural differences. Sa language, pagsasalita. So, it is expected that we need to speak slower to overseas people. Bakit? May sarili tayong mga accent, may sarili tayong kaparaanan ng pagsasalita, and they are not. Or even us, hindi din ganon. So, magkaminsan, maririnig mo siguro, excuse me, Can you repeat that? I didn't get you the first time. Will you please repeat that again? Kaya pagka nagbibigay ng mga orders, dahan-dahan mo rin sabihin sa kanila. So, avoid the use of industry jargon o yung mga terms natin na mga pang-industriya lang. Use local terms kung pwede. Iwasan mo din yung mga local terms and expressions. So, upang sa ganun, hindi naman sila ma-offend at hindi nila naintindihan yung mga lahat ng sinasabi mo. Okay? And don't be offended also kung sasabihin niya sa yung, I didn't get you or I don't understand it. I didn't understand anything you said. Pwedeng sabihin sa atin. But then again, let's try to learn some basic phrases in other languages that will help. Most of the hotels provide written information in a variety of languages, like maps, price list, facilities, menus, and that will help. Magbibigay ka agad-agad yan ng impression na, itong particular na hotel na to is customer-friendly. Or at times, ang ibang mga hotels, yung mga malalaking hotels, nag-i-employ sila ng multi or bilingual staff to help para madaling ma-address ka agad-agad. And if kailangan mo ng mga Chinese speakers dahil marami ang Chinese na mga tourists, then that can help. Or pagka kailangan mo ng mga Latinos o ng mga Spanish speaking, then kailangan mo maglagay ng ibang staff for that para sa ganun mapadali ang proseso. Okay. Or it would help also kapag nakita natin na at least ma-memorize man lang natin yung welcome. Teka, bakit walang Pilipinong mabuhay dito? Mabuhay, welcome to the Philippines. Or kapag dito naman sa atin, dayon ka mo, sabi ng mga Bisaya, umay kayo apo, or umali kayo, or madyaw karajaw, or buenas sa mga taga Surigao. So those things are, kailangan na at least we know a bit of welcoming them in their different languages, or sa atin, in our native tongue, kung sabihin. Ayan yung mabuhay pagka Pilipino. Okay. Special needs also. Respect, sensitivity. Kailangan natin makita yung special needs nila. Special needs commonly occur in relation to food, privacy, religious devotion. Sabi nga natin kanina, even in TESDA, in our assessments before, habang nagtuturo ako ng TESDA, we allot time for religious devotion. Pagka tinamaan niya, wherein yung mga kaibigan natin, mga Muslims, mayroon silang ginagawang devotion at this particular hour, this particular time, magkakaroon sila ng prayer time, then we give them that freedom. Ganon din sana sa mga hotels, ganon din sa mga work natin. We need to be looking at that. Beverages. Sa beverages, of course, kung galing sa ibang bansa ang mga yan, gusto nilang subukan yung ating mga native na mga beverages, lambanog, tuba, ano pa bang mga ibang base, ano pa bang ibang mga beverages na meron tayo sa Pinas, sleeping requirements, business protocols. So, these things are kasama doon sa pagbibigay natin ng respeto at saka sensitivity sa mga needs nila. We also need to be aware of the family structure. Family structure, ibig sabihin, the relationship that exists within the family. Alam nyo ba na ang mga pet lovers, yung mga pet nila is considered part of the family. Okay. The nuclear family, so to speak, where two generations of a family live together either by design or as a result of externally imposed need. Sa Pilipinas, marami tayong ganyan eh. Yung isang bahay, tapos nagsanga na ng bahay kasi nag-asawa si panganay, dikit pa rin sa pamilya, nag-asawa si pangalawa, dikit pa rin sa dating bahay ni tatay, tapos nag-asawa si bunso, dikit pa rin. Nuclear family, tawagin natin doon. Two generations of family live together. Okay. Mayroon din tayong tinatawag na step families. The step families were family units combined after divorce or after separations. Come on. Bagamat walang divorce dito sa Pilipinas, but we've seen step families living together. Step mom or step dad, and then step sisters, step brothers, things like that. So they live together. And there are also this single parent families where the family unit comprises only of a parent plus a child or children. Don't be insensitive enough na magtanong, oh, where's the mom or where's the dad? I've seen 2 kids or 3 kids. Wag naman bida-bida pa na magtanong ng ganon. So, this highlights the differences that can exist between cultures and again underlines that we must take care not to assume that our orientation, yung nakagisnan natin dito sa Pilipinas, to something will automatically be the same position taken by others. Magkakaiba talaga. And this doesn't make them wrong. And as a right, it just makes them different. Pero we are also being exposed to this. Marami na tayong makakilalang ganito, even sa setting ng Pilipinas. Oh, disabilities. We need to be aware of the disabilities. The keys are to identify the disabilities that colleagues and customers commonly present with. Disability does not mean invalid. Okay? Disabilities does not mean walang kakayahan. May mga bagay-bagay lang silang hindi kayang gawin. So, plan how to accommodate these needs, being sensitive to the needs of this particular group of people by talking to support groups and talking to disabled people to learn about their needs, expectations, and how they prefer to be treated. Ang ilan sa kanila will be offended pagka i-treat mo sila na para bang hindi nila kayang suportan sarili na o di nila kayang mag-function as normal. May pagkukulang, yes, there are disabilities, but it doesn't mean na naiinis sila pagka they are treated na mga invalid. So, we could implement pre-planned strategies sensitively. So, kaya nga may provided na mga ramps, kaya nga may provided na wheelchair, kaya may provided tayo na mga, and I even have had the chance of playing bowling. Mga people with disabilities, they play bowling. Some of my fellow young people in Lancaster Church before, we went bowling at mayroong silang nilalagay doon sa kanto na parang rubber para sa ganun mag-enjoy pa rin ng mga people with disabilities. And one more thing, whenever you see this sign, please, wag ka naman mag-park doon sa parking lot lalo. Pag may sign naman ganyan, wag mo naman i-occupy. Nakakainis mo magkaminsan, ang gagara ng mga sasakyan, wala namang ID ng people with disabilities. Or ang iba magkabinsan, nakikita ko yung pang mga government, red plate or di kaya ay patrol nakaparking pa sa ganitong parking lot. Siguro nga, disabled yung utak ng mga yun, or things like that. But be sensitive enough. Guys, don't park on those areas na may mga mark for special needs. Okay. Gender. Oh, sex and gender are used interchangeably, pero hindi totoo yun. So, we need to be aware also of the genders. People from other nations may not strongly share the equality experience in our country or in any particular country. Dito sa Pilipinas, mas lenient tayo. kaysa ibang mga bansa. Bagamat maraming mga bansa have some form of equal opportunity legislation which purports to treat males and females equally, hindi totoo yan sa iba't ibang kultura. Okay? You can see even in YouTube, kinakasal pa lang, inuupakan na nung groom yung kanyang bride-to-be o yung kanyang bride. So, when it comes to gender, it is our role when dealing with people from another culture is to recognize lang, and accommodate it. It is not our role to try to force those people to align with our own views, with our culture. While we may see it as acceptable to talk directly to a female customer, making direct eye contact and smiling to them, for other countries may find this approach rude, offensive, and indicative of sexual overtones. So, it's okay to look, not to stare. Pwede lang yung tingin, pero maging sensitive tayo doon sa mga kultura pa rin ng iba that they consider it rude, kabastusan, offensive, and indicative of sexual overtones. Napakahirap na kaso yan. Okay. Pagdating naman sa age dito sa atin, lalong higit mga Pilipino, we respect the elderly. Kaya nga, lagi natin nakikita, respect the elderly. Kung pwede lang ibigay ang upuan sa elderly, kung pwede lang paupuin ng elderly, magbuksan ng pintuan ng elderly, i-assist ang mga elderly. In some countries, it may not be the case. Okay? Kasi yung iba, the young people are regarded with respect and prestige. Baliktad, and you will have a culture shock. In each country, laws govern the treatment of people on the basis of age, but these laws may not apply elsewhere. So, huwag din tayong mag-look down kaagad-agad na bastos naman itong isang ito. Siyang nakaupo, yung matanda na katayo, something like that. Okay. We must be sensitive to those age-related considerations and treat each culture appropriately based on their traditional approach to age. And we need to be sensitively apply any legal requirements that apply to age-related issues, such as the service of alcohol, kailangan 18, which may be different in different countries. Sa US talaga, whenever you ask for a drink, they will ask for your ID. 18, tsaka lang sila magbibigay. At hindi talaga sila nagbibigay sa mga minors. Okay. The next one will be the sexual preference. Sexual preference is not the taboo it once was in some countries. However, we need to be mindful of not giving offense to people who are different this way. And this covers our element 2.2, respect and sensitivity.